Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings, mostly lifestyle subscription boxes, but also books, beauty, jewelry, travel, home decor, and the very occasional dash of Disney. So if you enjoy unboxings, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell. And that way you'll find out whenever I post new videos, which is usually at least once a day, if not twice. Whenever I announce giveaways, we do have a secret password giveaway going on right now. I believe today is the last day. And whenever I go live, I usually go live on the 8th of the month. During those live streams, we talk about what's going on in our lives as well as the subscription box world. It's a really fun way of connecting with other people in this awesome community. So hopefully you can join me for one of these days. I am planning on going live on March 8th at 5 p.m. Pacific. As always, if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for being here and welcome back. Today I have one of my favorite book subscriptions, and that is the amazing Authentic Books. This has been sent to me for review. Honestly, I think this is the best book subscription out there right now in terms of getting newly released titles. Sometimes it is as they're coming to the bookshelves. So I just think that is so amazing, the way that she works with the publishers to get us those new releases, highly anticipated titles. And of course, I also love how customizable this box is. Not only do you get to choose among 3 different titles every month, that means she curates 3 different boxes every single month. There's also 3 different subscription tiers. There's the mini, the full, and the premium, depending on your budget, depending on how many awesome items you want to receive, often from great small businesses. So in the mini box, which is $39 plus I believe $8.99 in shipping, you get the book, often a hardcover, often signed and with an author's note, as well as a bookmark, a Spotify playlist to create the ambiance, a candle that is inspired by the book, as well as a self-care or touch item, because all of the items are speaking to the 5 different senses. The next level up is the full experience. You get everything that is in the mini, plus you get a second touch item or self-care item, as well as the choice between a premium tea or a cocktail ingredient. And I believe for a limited time she is doing a coffee option. And then finally, there is the premium experience, is what I have to share with you today. You get everything that's in there, plus you get some premium chocolate, which of course is my favorite part, as well as a third self-care or touch item. Now this one again was sent to me for review, but if you are interested in subscribing at any level, you can save 10% using the code Noelle10. As always, I will leave all of that information for you in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get into this fabulous box. Now I just made my selections for March. This box usually ships towards the end of the following month, at least that's kind of been the pattern of late. So this is the January box, I believe. So yes, it's the January box, which I don't mind. I'm so behind on my reading. It's totally fine that I'm receiving it in February. Now I did give it a quick peek when I opened it up, and I did notice that I didn't see the little booklet, the guide that usually comes along with. So I did reach out to Natisha, and I did kind of dig around in there to make sure, but I didn't receive mine this time around. So she sent me the digital copy, so I do have it printed out so I can tell you a little bit more about the items that are in there. But let's just take a quick look. So I did choose Violetta, a novel by Isabella Allende. I was very excited about this when I read the description, and again, it's kind of a fun surprise to see what I selected a couple of months ago. The one other cool thing about this box is that they always donate to an organization, often one that is involved in education, and this time it says 5% of your membership will be donated to the Adopt a Classroom Foundation, supporting children's education and their educators. So you gotta love that. So usually it comes in a nice full color brochure, but I don't have a color printer, so I just printed it out so you can kind of get an idea of what it would look like. But I went ahead and folded it because I like to keep these little guides tucked into the books even after I have read them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started so you guys can see. So here's an example. Here's our Spotify playlist with the little Spotify QR code to go along with. Here is the gorgeous bookmark, always with the pretty silky tassel. I have all of my Authentic books lined up along my shelf. I'm probably gonna actually create a special shelf for them because now they are starting to take over the bookshelf I have beside me right here. And then of course we have a nice quote from the book. It says, "I think you'll see that my life story is worthy of a novel because of my sins more than my virtues." Sounds interesting, right? So I'm going to put that off to the side. One thing I forgot to tell you that comes in all of the boxes at all of the tiers, which is very, very cool, is a Story Eats inspired recipe. So that's cool. So for this one, it is apple strudel. Now that's something that I probably wouldn't make at home. I might indulge and allow myself to go to the nearest bakery and pick some up. And then the book cocktail recipe, which of course goes with that cocktail ingredient that is in the full and premium boxes if you choose that. And this one is the Winter Rose. So it's got rose syrup, fresh lemon juice, gin, and cardamom bitters. All right, so very interesting if we're getting the rose syrup or the cardamom bitters in here. Now, I don't usually go for like rose flavored things. It's usually kind of a strong flavor for me, nor do I go with gin. But usually when there's a recipe that says gin, you can just replace that with vodka, no problem. So looks very lovely, and I'm very excited to actually start to enjoy making some of the recipes. I've kind of changed my filming and photography schedule, so you will start to see, hopefully in the near future, a little bit more in terms of me getting to do and experiencing some of these boxes a little more fully. That's my goal. Hopefully by mid-year or the end of the year, you'll see some of these recipes actually coming to life over on Instagram. All right, so now that I got that stuff out of the way, you can see there is some black shred. So let me just kind of toss that off. So let's go ahead and take a look at the candle that of course is again made by Authentic Books now. So she makes them all in-house, which I think is great. I think you can even get add-ons. I think there's even the opportunity to just buy the candles on their own. So let's see. This is of course our smell item, the hand-poured soy candle that does again come in all of the tiers, the mini, the full, and the premium. This is Violetta de Valle. It's a soy-based candle with orchid and sea salt notes. That sounds amazing. So very, very pretty label to totally go with the cover of the book. I'm loving the green and the pink kind of contrasting. So I have really been liking anything with orchid in it because it's such a a very light floral scent. Ooh, that is nice. So, man, the last few candles have been fantastic. So, the last one I think I remember was sort of like Asian inspired because it was like a Korean inspired novel, and that one was so good. I was very sad when it was over. But you can see there are some petals there because it's always very pretty as well. So, I haven't tried my hand at candle making yet. I actually got a kit in another box. I'm hoping to do that this weekend. So again, check out my Instagram. Maybe you'll get to see that eventually. So floral sea salt, that is very, very nice. All right, so let's put that off to the side. And then see if I can find the next thing, which is also in the mini, full, and premium boxes. This is our touch item or our self-care item. So it looks like to be from like a small shop. It says it's the Lavender Bergamot Sugar Scrub. This one actually has a page number associated with it, which is kind of a fun way of going through all of the items in your box. So this is for page 25, so you get to use it pretty early on. Sometimes that helps in terms of inspiring you to get to the next chapter, right? So it says this 2-ounce jar of great smelling sugar scrub will exfoliate and moisturize your hands in under 1 minute. It's from a company called Little Flower. So let me see if I can open this up and give it a sniff. So, yeah, here we go. So this is what it looks like. It does definitely have some moisture in it. I'm starting to use my sugar scrubs a little more. Wow, that is really nice. Look, the bergamot, even though it's not citrus, like kind of gives it a citrusy scent to it. And it's not overpoweringly lavender, because I know some of you aren't fans of lavender. That is actually a really nice blend. So it's called the 1 Minute Manicure Moisturizing Sugar Scrub. So that's kind of cool to just have that next to your hand wash by the sink and give your hands a little extra love, especially during these drier months. That seems like a nice thing. So I'm loving the scents so far. Then we got this little bubble mailer. This is probably, it says taste on it. So this is most likely my cocktail mixer. I usually go for the cocktail mixer versus the tea. But usually, like, they're both good options. So that's why it's nice that you do have the add-on option when you are making your book selection. You can add, so you can have both the tea and the cocktail mixer. You can even add on other books. So you can have like a primary book that's what your box will be curated around. And then you can add the other books if some of the other titles just sound like things that you don't want to miss out on. Wow, usually I have an easier time opening these up. I might have to use my scissors on this because I'm always afraid that I'm gonna like be too forceful with a box or a bag like this and have whatever is fragile inside go shooting across the floor. And I do have hardwood floors, and that would be a little bit of a disaster. It's happened before. Let's see what this is. So this is, yes, I think we've actually gotten this before. So this is the Rose Cordial from Portland Syrup. So nice looking bottle. Looks great in that bar if you have one. I think I actually have some Rose Cordial from another box. It says fragrant whole dried rose blossoms and petals are slow brewed in stages with dried rose hips to capture the flower's essence at several stages of its expression. So I probably won't use this a ton, maybe just like a hint of it. I might use like less than it says in the recipe, for example, just again because I'm very sensitive to rose scents and flavors. But you know, I want to fully immerse myself and have the full experience. So, and I have such a fully stocked bar in terms of all of these fun cocktail ingredients now because of Authentic Books. Not only do I have a beautiful full bookshelf, I have a beautiful full bar. So I'm definitely loving it. All right, let's see what else we have got. I am thinking the next item is touch number 2. So this is going to be in your full and premium boxes. This one is associated with page 20, so even earlier than the sugar scrub. And this is from Soap Cherie. Oh, this is fun. It's got something like a little eucalyptus sprig in it. It's a body oil, but it's like a spray body oil. That's kind of cool. So it says cold pressed botanical oil blend with a revitalizing aroma of eucalyptus essential oil. Tips to use. A little goes a long way. So start with a few spritzes in your hands, massage into skin. Recommended to use daily after shower or bath. So I've definitely been liking body oils. Like when I first heard of that, I was like, that sounds greasy and terrible, but you know, good body oil just really absorbs very, very well, makes your skin feel really nice and moisturized. But it is very, very true that a little bit goes a long way. So I actually really like it when it comes in a spritz bottle like this, just for easy application versus like a dropper bottle or just a bottle that doesn't have any sort of applicator at all, because that can get a little bit messy. So super happy to use that. And you know, you can also use it as a little massage oil too sometimes. So I've been loving anything with eucalyptus because, as you guys can probably still hear, I am still recovering from a bit of a cold. So anything that kind of clears the sinuses has been really nice. Ooh, that smells so good, so spa-like. Lovely, 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 lovely scents in this box. All right. We have also got, so touch number 3 this time. Here's an example of where it's really more about touch. It's just like an extra item versus necessarily a self-care item. So this is an accessory. This is a tote bag. It is an Authentic Books original. I think we've gotten one other Authentic Books original tote bag before. I love me a tote bag. I have a ridiculous collection now though. I need to probably like trim it down. I used to have it be one of the things that I would get as a souvenir, but now I'm sticking to jewelry when it comes to souvenir because again, I have so many tote bags. So kind of cute. They have this little tag on it. I just kind of pulled it off. It says premium bookish goods. So it's like a whole extra line that they're doing in addition to the candles, in addition to the subscription box. She is definitely building quite the empire. So it says small batch creations, always made with love, good intentions, positive energy from our hands to yours. So she does everything with such intention and style. So this is the tote bag. It says, use this tote for all your bookish needs. Bring it with you when you browse the library or wander into a bookstore. I gotta love this, you guys. So of course we have this lovely like cameo silhouette that says, well-behaved women rarely make history. Gotta love that. So I do like that. It's a nice size. It's got nice long straps, so it can actually go over your shoulder, which I also appreciate. Sometimes the ones where you have to hold it in your hand, like what's the good of that? Because you're obviously lugging around something pretty hefty. So it doesn't have like a foot to it. It's just one of those ones where that's the seam. So you can, it's pretty much for books versus anything heftier. Like these aren't the kind that I like to use as a grocery bag, for example. That's more of like a book bag for me, or sometimes a beach bag in all honesty, but it's also just a great sort of auxiliary bag for when you are traveling, you wind up needing an extra bag instead of taking that plastic bag or disposable bag. Use the one that you've got tucked in your purse that doesn't take up much space. And then finally, the pièce de résistance, the part that makes me love the premium experience so much. Now this is a different chocolate brand, so there's definitely some brands that she returns to, always with beautiful packaging. This is a new one though to me. It's Bissingers. It says handcrafted chocolate. My box got a little bit dented, but the chocolate's probably going to taste just as good. It is dulce de leche, 38% milk chocolate, creamy caramel, cinnamon, and a touch of smoked fleur de sève. So delish, you guys. I love caramel. You probably know already that I love chocolate. So this is going to be awesome. You know what? This one is associated with page 31. And the tea or the cocktail also associated with page 31. So you're getting all the good stuff, you guys, in the first, like, not even 50 pages of the book. This is awesome. So creamy caramel and milk chocolate with cinnamon and a touch of fleur de sel. I'm excited about this. My husband is always excited about this. He loves this box because of the chocolate. So we have finally gotten down to our book, which naturally is usually like at the bottom. So we do have a little scoop for our sugar scrub. That's kind of nice. Sometimes there's even matches in here. And then, of course, I have to show you, the cover is just really pretty on this book. We do have our little Authentic Books seal. So sometimes those pop off, but I'm usually able to just kind of like glue them back on. Nice hardcover. Love that. So let's go ahead and read. So inside, you guys, now that I opened it up, we do have our author's note, and it's always kind of cool. Sometimes when it's in the author's handwriting, they print it up. And then we do have a lovely book plate with her signature. Allende, love that. So it says, this sweeping novel from the New York Times best-selling author of A Long Petal of the Sea tells the epic story of Violetta de Valle, a woman whose life spans 100 years and bears witness to the greatest upheavals of the 20th century. I think I surprised Natisha when I chose this book instead of the thriller, because like 80% of the time I choose the thriller. So it says, Violetta comes into the world on a stormy day in 1920, the first girl in a family with 5 boisterous sons. From the start, her life is marked by extraordinary events, for the ripples of the Great War are still being felt, even as the Spanish flu arrives on the shores of her South American homeland almost at the moment of her birth. Because of her father's prescience, the family will come through that crisis unscathed, only to face a new one as the Great Depression transforms the genteel city life she has known. Her family loses everything and is forced to retreat to a wild and beautiful but remote part of the country. There she will come of age, and her first suitor will come calling. Violetta tells her story in the form of a letter to someone she loves above all others, recounting times of devastating heartbreak and passionate affairs, poverty and wealth, terrible loss, and immense joy. Her life is shaped by some of the most important events of history: the fight for women's rights, the rise and fall of tyrants, and ultimately not one, but 2 pandemics. Through the eyes of a woman whose unforgettable passion, determination, and sense of humor carry her through a lifetime of upheaval, Isabella Allende once more brings us an epic that is both fiercely inspiring and deeply emotional. So I think that sounds so cool, right? Just the eyes of someone who experiences an entire century. I think a lot of us, if we ever write a biography, the last 2 years are definitely gonna deserve a chapter, right? So let's see what the author's note says. It's in very tiny handwriting, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to read it. It says, Dear reader, I have a new novel for you, Violetta. It's the story of a passionate and smart Latin American woman who was born during the influenza pandemic, lives to be 100 years old, and dies in our recent pandemic. She actually included the most recent one. I was wondering what the second one was. It says, the 20th century was marked by war, what is this? I'm not sure. And political upheaval, social and political upheaval, great scientific and technological discoveries, and the rise of feminism. Violetta, my protagonist, is not a passive witness. She participates in the dreams, struggles, and tragedies of her fascinating time. I hope you will enjoy the book. And then, of course, it's got her little flower and her little signature again. So I think that flower is part of her signature. And, of course, it's also the sign for female or woman, which I think is kind of a nice touch for our female protagonist. I just think this sounds really interesting and how contemporary. I'm very interested to see how that last part of the novel goes. You all let me know what you thought about this. If you've read anything by Isabella Allende, I would love to hear, without any spoilers, of course. Let me know what your favorite genre is in terms of fiction, contemporary novels, if you like the classics, whatever, or what your favorite item in this particular box looks to be. Let's go ahead and have a secret password. Why not? It's the last day. We're gonna go ahead and make it eucalyptus. So I know it's a long word, but I figured we'll go with it, and it's something I've been definitely loving and needing a lot of. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all very soon in my next unboxing.